WUSA 9 Weather Impact Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
And I'm WUSA 9 Meteorologist Topper Shutt. Well, here's the deal. This was our snow map we put out on Sunday. And this was, 2 to 4 inches here and 4 to 6 inches plus here. We haven't changed that. What we did, though, is we kind of refined it. We put a 6 to 10 inch band here just south of I-66, sort of between Warrenton, including Culpeper, just around Fredericksburg over into Waldorf. And some of these areas around Leonardtown have already seen 6 inches, and they're going to see some more heavy snow. I'll show you radar in a second. 4 to 6 inches right through the metro, and then 2 to 4. It never was going to be a storm north of town in terms of the most amount, which is sort of unusual, but that's the way it works out. Frederick, Winchester, Martinsburg, 2 to 4 inches. But 4 to 6, you're kind of on the cusp there in Leesburg and Gaithersburg. As you get closer to town, much better chance of 4 to 5 inches of snow. Okay. Snowfall totals as of 7 p.m. 3 inches at National, 2.8 at Dulles, 1.8 at BWI, Prince William County Complex, 6 inches, and then 4.5 inches at Leonardtown, Maryland. So we have a weather impact alert, and we issue these when it's a nuisance weather and you have to change your plans, or in this case, it's both nuisance and life-threatening. Now until 11 o'clock is going to be the critical times. It's going to snow a little past midnight, but really the next 3 hours is going to be the lion's share of the snow, the accumulating snow. 2 to 10 inches total across the entire DMV. What do you need to know? We know slick roads are out there. We've been showing you that all night. School and travel impacts. I will say the airports still are only about a half an hour to an hour delay, both at National, Dulles, and also Thurgood Marshall. So that's obviously going to have school impacts tomorrow too, and roads are going to be slick tomorrow morning as well. Lauren, let us show them let's show the weather terrace before we go through this. This is the now, right now, and it's still snowing pretty well. I've shoveled it once, and I put out a post on social. We have about 3.5 inches here in Northwest. And on the other side of that little fence is Upton, and Upton is covered. Some of the side roads now are covered. It is very slippery. It's kind of weird. It's a dry snow. Atmospherically, it's a dry snow, okay? The temperatures above us are very cold. But surface-wise, it gets really wet as it gets and hits the ground and either melts or gets close to a freezing temperature. So that's why I call this a dry, wet snow. Good for snowballs, but actually falling itself, it's falling like powder until it gets to the ground. Okay, thank you. That's the weather terrace. That was live. All right, so now till midnight. Snow becoming light by midnight. Roads still slippery, 29 to 32. And we'll say another 2 to 4 inches possible in the next 3 hours, depending on where those bands set up, and I'll show you those bands in a second. Now, let's talk about overnight. Light snow and flurries. Don't see any really additional accumulations, but it's going to keep side roads slippery. Temperatures are still critical, 28 to 32. So that's overnight till 6 a.m. Now, we get into 6 a.m. to noon. Flurries, maybe a mix. Side roads are still slippery. Temperatures, though, are going to inch up above 35, not north and west, but in town. You're going to find temperatures above 35 by lunchtime. And then the second wave rolls through, and if you're a snow lover, we missed, this storm by a whisker. It's going to be rain. So noon to 6, rain developing. It's still going to be a mix north and west. Temperatures, though, in most areas will be above 32. So that is great news. We're not going to pile a bunch of ice on all this snow. That is the worst scenario. Okay, 8 o'clock visibility. This is updated about 3 minutes ago. 3/4 of visibility, 3/4 of a mile in Dulles and also in D.C., 1 3/4 in Gaithersburg. So it's still snowing moderately, half mile at BWI. But, it's not as intense as it was just about 2 hours ago, especially into southern Maryland, where we saw snowfall rates 2 inches per hour during the afternoon. All right, so that's the visibility. Now let's talk about the radar. We kind of widened this out, and something should pop out at you right away. You see this blue, color blue? It's gone. That was the heavy, heavy snow. See the dark blues running through Ocean City right now? That was our heavy bands of snow that produced 1 to 2 inches per hour. Now, it's still snowing back to the west, okay? You see the white, that's still decent snow, and we're seeing a couple areas of some moderate snow pop up. And I think that's going to happen through, till like midnight. We're going to see some snow, light to occasionally moderate. I think the heavy bands are gone, except for our friends in southern Maryland, because you have to get all of this across the bay. and that will take another couple of hours, and that will probably give you another couple of inches. And we talked about this around 4 o'clock this afternoon. That's kind of going to be the bullseye of the heavy snow. It looks like you go a little further south of that, you're going to get some mixing that's going to decrease the amounts. All right, here's radar past couple of hours, and you see up near Frederick the moderate snow, the blue there is gone, but still some pretty good snows going on around the Beltway, back down into Warrenton, and certainly across into southern Maryland, down 301 into Charles County. It's been snowing there pretty hard for almost 8 hours now. So this is a little close-in view. Little moderate to light snow in Leesburg, moderate to light snow in Albany, but then you drop down inside the Beltway, and it's generally moderate, and moderate snow down toward Fredericksburg and Warrenton. So, yeah, this is we still got some snow to go before we get rid of it completely. We'll zoom in, and all around the Beltway, just kind of a mess right now. It's light to moderate snow, and, we've lost the sunshine now for like 3 hours, so the bridges and overpasses are icing over. Side roads are now slippery. If it's a treated road, probably a fine. Big roads are fine. And this is a much different scenario than January 6th, and I want to kind of talk about this again. January 6th snow was super cold before and stayed cold for almost 2 weeks after. In addition to the January 6th snow, we had snow 4 days later and then a week later, so we kind of had fresh snow on top of snow. It was not as cold before this storm. We're not going to go into deep freeze, and in fact, instead of freshening this snow up, we're going to wash a lot of it away tomorrow and into tomorrow night. So it's a way different scenario. So the roads will be much, much better, much quicker. All right. We still have the winter storm warnings in white, okay? We have winter weather advisories up along I-70, and the red is actually an ice storm warning, but I'm not really concerned about that. It's not going to be that bad, which is good. These winter storm warnings will expire at 7 a.m. on Wednesday. There is some debate if the Weather Service will issue a winter weather advisory to replace that until maybe noon. That's a possibility. I could see that. I could see that happening. But essentially, these go through Wednesday if it's west and out in the mountains. But right now, these will expire at 7 a.m. Wednesday morning. Now, here's the ice potential. I mean, there's some, and any ice is bad, but it's all under 1/10 of an inch, and 1/10 of an inch is sort of the benchmark of having problems, weighting trees down enough to cause some limbs to snap and some power outages. Because the last thing you want is a snow-covered limb and then ice encrusted. That becomes super heavy. That's very stressful for the tree. The good news is, less than 1/10 of an inch at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night, and by Thursday morning, didn't really add to that. 700s is about it. So I think we're in pretty good shape. The ice storm warning is still in effect tomorrow, but I think that might not be not going to be a problem. That's the good news. The warm air is going to win this battle. Certainly, even out west, it'll take a while, but they're going to win the battle. Okay, now let's talk about futurecast. Futurecast still pretty aggressive here with snow all the way back in the mountains through 11 o'clock tonight. But by 1 o'clock, still some snow in the metro. There's the mix, okay, down into extreme southern Maryland, and even some rain down into southern St. Mary's County. And then, boom, it goes away at 6 o'clock. Now, this futurecast, I think, is a little too aggressive on more stuff tomorrow. At 9 o'clock, it's got a mix. I think we'll see flurries tomorrow in the morning, but I don't think it's going to amount to anything. Some showers down into southern Maryland. By 1 o'clock, now we're getting the rain moving in. Temperatures essentially above freezing everywhere, which is why I'm not that concerned with any kind of icing problems. That's at 1 o'clock in the morning. Pretty heavy rains, at least moderate rains. This is now 5:30. It's trying to carve out a little ice on the ridges, but I don't think that's going to be a huge problem. I really don't. I think it's just going to be a miserable cold rain Wednesday evening, Wednesday night. So the evening commute is going to be miserable. The morning commute will be a little slippery still. 11 o'clock Wednesday, it still has rain across the board. And look at these temperatures. I mean, we're missing a second storm by a whisker. Really. I mean, we could have had, a few in a row. Anyway, I digress. That's upper 30s Wednesday night at 11 o'clock. Winds out of the east across the board. And then more rain comes in early Thursday morning with the front itself. Now we're looking at yellow and orange, even some red. That's heavy downpours. Temperatures now upper 30s to around 40. Good news is that clears out pretty quickly. By lunchtime, it's essentially across the bay. And look at the temps now. That strong southerly wind, 54 Leesburg, 50 Martinsburg, 53 in Front Royal. Wow. Then notice the winds turn by Thursday afternoon. We clear out. We'll see some sun Thursday afternoon. And temperature is still 50 downtown, 56 in Fredericksburg, but back in the 40s to the north and west. Oh, yeah, and it's snowing again west of the divide. Well, guess what? When that front goes through, another shot of Arctic air is going to come in here on Friday. This is Thursday night. If you have Thursday night plans, temperatures in the 30s with a little bit of a wind. It's going to feel like it's in the 20s. Just hang on. So, Friday's cold. Now we'll talk about Saturday. Models trending, holding cold air in longer. So, kind of a similar situation last Saturday. A little more widespread. A little bit of snow or a mix possible early Saturday morning. That's the snow and blue in the mix there in pink or magenta. By 10:30 Saturday morning, has a mix across most of the metro, except for southern Maryland and some snow as you head up 95 past Baltimore. But again, the warm air will win. Strong south-southeast flow. By 2:30, it's pretty much rain everywhere. There could still be a mix, Hagerstown, Martinsburg, and Frederick. Don't think it's going to be a problem on the roads. If it is, it won't last long because by 6:30, it's rain everywhere across the board. So if you have planned Saturday night, it's going to be more of a nuisance than dangerous. It's going to be just kind of miserable walking around with the umbrella. It won't be that cold, but it will be wet. Saturday night, 11 o'clock, still wet, heaviest rain to the south, and then boom, more rain comes in overnight Saturday into Sunday. I mean, imagine if we had this as cold with cold air. That's 10 a.m. in the morning, and then it will eventually clear out late Sunday, and the winds will pick up, and guess what? More Arctic air comes in Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so rain develops on Wednesday, mixed to rain north and west. Windy on Thursday, rain and showers, and we'll say 50, maybe low 50s. Then we crash. And then for Valentine's Day, low 40s. So cold but dry. Everyone will be able to go out and get the chocolates and have the flowers delivered. Then on Saturday, a mix north and west, rain, a mix to rain pretty much across the board. Rain on Sunday ending. Look at the temp on Sunday, 56 degrees. We crash again Sunday night, 29, and look at that. Next Monday and Tuesday, temperatures in the 30s. So more Arctic air comes in, and we're watching a possible another storm next Wednesday and Thursday with that Arctic air in place. So, yeah, we don't have this lit up yet. Weather impact alert, don't want to overwhelm you. We're probably going to have to issue a weather impact alert for all of Saturday and probably all of Sunday. Again, more for nuisance in the afternoon on Saturday and Saturday night. Could be a few slick roads early Saturday morning, and then totally for nuisance on Sunday as the front goes through, and then we clear out late. So I'll be back with you at 11 o'clock. We'll have new model data in on how long this snow lasts. I should have some final snowfall totals for you, or at least up to date. And remember, if you did today, send us a picture. Thank you. If you didn't, wake up tomorrow. You have a chance to take a picture. Download our app and use Near Me. Click on it and it'll upload video too and a picture. And for all the weather watchers out there, take more pictures tomorrow morning. In the meantime, stay safe, stay off the roads if you can. I'll see you back here at 11. I'm Meteorologist Topper Shutt.